All right, we're gonna make some candy bouquets. We've been making these for a lot of gifts, and so I figured why not show you how easy and cheap they are to make, and everybody loves to get them. So, here's one that's done. For our 4-H graduates for our club, we are making ones in a mug and then the candies with them. And the one I'm going to make right now is actually a get well soon gift for someone that had surgery. So what you need is your candy. I use wooden skewers. Also, you need tape, scissors, and something to build your bouquet into. So that one was a mug, and this one actually is just a box. If you're a Young Living member, it is the laundry detergent box, and it's nice and sturdy, and I just measured 4 inches up and then I trimmed it off, and voila, that's what we have. Okay, give myself some space. Then I just took the box and wrapped it. Easy enough. So we'll get to that real soon. And I have actually most of my candy already on the sticks, but I saved a few. So I just use like packing tape. Scotch tape would probably work if you used a couple pieces. And I trim about 1 inch wide maybe. And then I take the skewers and I leave the pokey side. Oh, I forgot to show you, we also need floral foam. There's other options for this too. We'll chat about. Okay, so most candies have kind of a front and back look to them. I like to make sure that the front is out. You can, go whichever direction with the candy you want. Some of them you might want horizontal. Most of the time I'll go vertical with mine. It just tends to be the look that I like. And I want the words to all be going the same way. So when I tape it on, I tape the non-pokey part. That's it. I just lay the tape right across there. So let's do these two and then we'll start assembling it. Now M&M's lately has a picture on one side and then the label on the other, so depending on who you're giving it to or which way you want to go, you can decide. This one I went with the M&M characters out for the Get Well bouquet, and the person that it is, I'm going to go with the words out, like that. Again, for me, I like the words going the same direction. Okay, so I have an assortment of candies. I typically use about 3 of each. That's what I've been doing for these past few bouquets, and it's looked really nice. You can use whatever you want. You could absolutely make a bouquet that is all the same candy. If you know somebody's favorite candy bar, that would be awesome. Now, other options instead of skewers, you could get real creative and go outside and get little sticks. That could be really cute. You might have to do a little more tape or glue to glue them on. Floral foam is super easy to work with. It gets a little bit messy. You can cut it with a serrated knife. This started as a rectangle, and we've cut several off. Now if you're going to put this in the mug, in the base of the mug, you just kind of have to corner it off. This is some leftovers, which is going to work perfectly for what's going in this box. Other things you could use are rocks instead of floral foam to make your skewers or sticks stick. Marbles. You can even just take tissue paper or shred some pretty colors of paper and have them be able to kind of twist it in there. You can play around with what works. Now, this is a little bit bigger box than my foam, and I happen to have some extra foam. You don't have to have the whole thing filled up. You just need to have made most of the center. But what you do need is for it not to flop around, otherwise your bouquet is going to flop around. But it looks like my hodgepodge of pieces is going to be about perfect to fit in this box. Okay, so we'll go with that. Okay, like glitter, sort of. Let's see which way I want this to be the front. Let me go this way. Now, some of them I'm going to cut, but first I'm going to start with the tall ones. So I kind of do levels. You can kind of think of tiers, high, medium, low, super low, depending on how many you have. And I like to get an assortment all over the place. Now also, you will stick it straight in, but sometimes you can like stick it in the side or in the back, and that will give you different balance and more room to stick things in. Let me stick several in here. And floral foam is forgiving, so if you need to take something out and create more space or move things around, you certainly can do that. This is where we're at so far. Then you can trim them. You can make them all the same height. My preference is to make them staggered. I'm sure there's a tool or a little knife cutter that cuts this very easily, but I just scour, make a little score in there, and then snap it, and that snaps right off. Kind of try to move colors around a little bit. Let's see. Sizes. This one. So when you're cutting them, some you might cut more off than others, and that will determine its height. Doing good so far. Slant them. They don't all have to be completely straight up and down. We did, I wish I had a picture of it, we did such a cute one for one of my kids' friends' birthdays the other day, and that again was a container that when he was done eating it could just be recycled. It was like a container that a bunch of chocolates or something had come in, and it was a plastic container, and it was clear. We did use floral foam, but then we filled it with different colors of shredded paper. You could see right through it, and it was so cool. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of it. Looking good here. So then you can play, twist, turn. I like to add the tissue paper. Tissue paper can get a bit tricky if you have multiple layers of it. Let's see, let's move you here. And then I have, oops, a couple more. Anyways, tissue paper, if you're trying to puncture through it, you can put it in before you start putting the candies in, like how you want it to fluff off the top, like this. Or, especially if you just have a single piece of floral foam, when you're done, you can just lift it all up and put the tissue paper underneath it and stick it back in. That works really slick. This one might not work so slick because I have multiple pieces in there. I'll probably just stick the tissue paper on the top. Another thing you can do is I totally lost what I was going to say. Oh, curling ribbon. You can take some curling ribbon and just take a strip and curl it and drizzle it over the top. So let's see, I made a sign for this one. This one says, "Hope you have a really sweet day, just like you." And in this one, for our 4-H graduates, we will put their names on it. I'll put that in the back, but I'm gonna see what it looks like in the middle. Oh, I like it in the back. Sticking up nice and high. Ta-da! Voila! And everybody's super excited to get it. Look at that. We made it from start to finish, even the ones that I had already done. I mean, you can probably be done with this in less than 20 minutes. And cost-wise, especially if you're using something that you're recycling or reusing, super cheap. Your containers probably your biggest expense, and then your candy comes second, depending on how good of a deal you can get on it. You can make it awesome. Enjoy.